Today, I want to talk about your story. How do you tell your story? The fact that you took action to do it is more important than what's going to happen. What do you think about when you think about your story? Does it excite you? Does it make you smile? Do you have a lot left to do that you're not doing? When things started coming together for me with my honed in business idea, with my passions, what I knew my strengths were, I knew my purpose was, I finally found it. The turning point was when I told my story. I mean, it's documented. If you go to the Rock and Roll Life Coach Facebook page, I don't use that anymore, but that's when I first started as a one-on-one life coach, mindset coach, whatever, mentor, whatever. And before that, I tried a bunch of different things. I tried to make a quick buck as I was floundering around trying to figure out my way. What was my message? What was my online business going to be? How could I incorporate everything I've done, my journey, my story into a business? It was an awesome time because looking back on it, all that stuff got me to where I am, got me to figure it out. But I tried a bunch of things, didn't work. So I say, you know what? The story that I'm a little bit embarrassed by, certain parts of it aren't exactly what I want to make public and admit or whatever. But when I just decided to pull back that curtain and just tell it, I wasn't trying to be any way. I wasn't trying to be a certain anything. I just told my story of living the dreams and, growing up in the Midwest, going to college, all that stuff, chasing the music dream, living the music dream, doing the radio thing. When I started thinking about it, everything, the good, the bad, the great, my rough time I went through, when I hit rock bottom, I told them everything, how I was broke and miserable and I was pretending to go to work, sitting in my car. I didn't tell Chris that I was fired. And it was just really crazy. When I told my story, I realized that was the turning point. People started getting inspired by what I had gone through because I bounced back, and they too could bounce back. And I never saw it that way. I just was telling my story. I wasn't trying to help. I was just trying to be honest to figure out what my message, what my purpose, what my thing was. And so when it came back, that it was inspiring people and helping people, that just blew my mind. So I encourage you guys to tap into how you want to tell your story. If you had 5 minutes at a party to tell somebody your story, how would you do it? If you had an hour on stage, how would you do it? If you had 30 seconds in an elevator with somebody, how would you do it? And these are things that I figured out, and it took me a while to hone in on it. But once you start telling your story, your real story, and if you don't have a whole lot of story, go out and do make a story. Pursue everything that's in your heart and you're passionate about, and it's a strength or it's something that makes you happy. Go do it. Don't be one of those people that wonders what would have happened. Go figure it out. Go find out. So when I started telling my story, I started realizing I was inspiring people. That was kind of the first domino to really getting my mindset transformed from the traditional mindset to a growth mindset. No more fixed stuff. It was a growth mindset. I was going to learn. I was going to grow. I was going to do it or learn. No excuses to quit. And so it unlocked my mindset. It showed me where I was inspiring people. It showed me where I wasn't inspiring people, and it just unlocked the potential that I was wanting to get out there. I think that's a lot of what unhappiness is. It's knowing you have potential to do more, to be more, to pursue more, to experience more, to share more, and you're not doing it. And so many people wonder why they're miserable. I was there. I didn't know either. I mean, it's a scary time when you're not sure what's going to make you happy. So everyone who's at that spot, think about your story, think about what's going to make you happy, and lean into it and start doing it. What is your potential? What is your movie like? Like, what would you, if they were going to make a movie about you, what would happen in the movie? What would happen in your book? When you start telling your story in a certain way that it's totally authentic, it's totally passionate, you feel it, you will inspire people. You will be able to start tapping into a mindset transformation that starts unlocking your potential. Because when you tell your story, you start realizing, it even emboldens you even more with what your strengths are, your passions. How do you want to keep writing the story? Sometimes to finish writing or to start the next chapter in writing something, you read what's been done so far, right? So what have you done so far? How do you want your next chapter to write? So when I started thinking about my story and practicing it to myself, I started realizing what I wanted the next chapter to be. And I was able to start telling it to people. And I started finding people that were inspired by it. When they were inspired by it, of course, they told me what they were inspired by. So then I started doubling down on that. And then I started untapping, oh my gosh, what could my message be? Maybe this is part of my messaging. Maybe this is part of me maximizing my potential. Maybe this is part of my online business. This is part of me unlocking my mindset. Guys, telling my story and working on that story, the 15-second version, the 30-second version, the 5-minute version, the hour-long version of it. When I worked on that story, I figured out a lot of things, and that could be the key to unlock a lot of things for you guys. Think about the story. How would you write it? If there was a film crew that started following you around today, they started following you around today and they were filming your success story, what would you do? What would you have the cameras see? What would you be proud of? What would you totally change? And I thought, you know what? I'm doing exactly what I would do if cameras follow me around. I mean, they kind of are in a way, but you know what I'm saying. And you guys can decide to make a change for the better, to be happier at any moment. It's one moment in time that you decide to take action, to figure some things out. And another cool thing about telling your story in a certain way is that that's your truth. That's your story. How can someone come at you? You're not, giving some opinion, some polarizing opinion on politics or religion. It's your story. It's yours. It's authentic. It's how you have done things. So when you try to use that to entertain or help others, to inspire others, make another person smile or whatever, I mean, no one can touch that unless you let them. The haters, the cynical people, the negative people, all the ones who haven't pursued a whole lot, trying to hold you back from pursuing a whole lot. So yeah, guys, so telling your story, be vulnerable, be authentic. You can find your people. You can learn so much about your message, what inspires other people. You can, when you speak in front of other people and you have conviction like that, you face a knockdown of fear. So many things build from that. And so the feedback that comes in, there's just a lot of awesome pluses to figure out your story, how you want to tell it. And if you don't like it, change it. Add some things to it. You can write the next chapter. You can start a new chapter today. All right, guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for checking out this video, this live stream. I am accepting submissions for video. If you want to do the call to action in my YouTube videos, telling people to subscribe, like the video, hit the notification bell or whatever they do, all that stuff that they can do on YouTube or whatever. If you guys want to send me a video, if you guys doing it in your own crazy fun way, do it, and I'll put it in the video if it's cool, if it's good enough, if it's funny enough, if it's just entertainment of some kind. All right, guys. Thank you. Have a great weekend. I'll see you. Hey, you know what? Scratch all that.